The one big thing that most people get wrong about hypnosis is that they think it is something that is done to them. And that is not the case. It is the hypnotist and the client working together to achieve an outcome. And how that is achieved is by the client following instructions. Simple. The hypnotist gives an instruction and the client just follows. That is how all hypnosis is done. And sometimes what happens is people resist those suggestions. They want to be hypnotized, but in some way they don't want to be hypnotized. So for you to get the best results, it's just about following instructions. So just as a test for yourself, I'm not there with you to see that you're doing this. It might seem a little silly, but just follow along because your subconscious mind picks up on these ideas that you're willing to follow my instructions. So just take for example, what I want you to do is I want you just to close your eyes. So just close your eyes like me. Now open your eyes. Now what I want you to do is just raise your right hand. Again, I'm not there to see that you've done this. So it's important for you just to follow along with these simple little exercises, just so we begin to connect on a level to create that experience that you want from this hypnosis session. Okay. So here's another thing I'd like you to do, is I'd like you to place your two hands out in front of you like this. Okay? Straight out, arms straight out in front of you like this. And what I want you to do is imagine that there's a powerful magnet on each of those hands. Now I'd like you to close your eyes for this experience. Okay. So just imagine that there's a powerful magnet on each of those hands, or pretend there is one. Now I wonder what colour that magnet is that's on those hands. Now the thing about magnets is they only do one thing: attract themselves to each other. Okay. So as you think about those magnets attracting themselves to each other, perhaps you can get a sense of how strong and powerful those magnets are, or as those magnets begin to pull tighter and tighter. And the closer they get, the stronger they get as they begin to pull and tug, tugging and pulling closer and closer, pulling and tugging, pulling and tugging. That's right, pulling and tugging closer and closer, feeling the power of those magnets pulling. And the harder you try to keep those magnets apart, the more they want to pull closer and closer together. Pulling closer and closer, pulling and tugging, just feeling those magnets pulling tighter and tighter, getting closer and closer. And you try really hard to keep those magnets apart, but those magnets want to come closer and closer and closer. That's right. Coming closer, pulling and tugging, tugging and pulling, pulling and tugging. That's right. Attracting themselves together, coming together closer and closer and closer. Perhaps you're feeling those hands ready to touch, or maybe they've even touched already. I don't know. But what I want you to do now is I want you to open your eyes. Okay. Now, as you open your eyes, perhaps you've noticed that your hands have moved closer together. Perhaps they've touched together. And this is what I want you to do, is follow those instructions. Your subconscious mind will really work on those instructions for you, because it's using the power of your imagination. It's that powerful part of your mind that we want to work with in this hypnosis session, to bring you on that hypnotic journey, taking you to places that you want to go, or perhaps places that you will never ever get the chance to go to, but you can visit there in the privacy of your own mind, in whatever way you wish, and really enjoy this experience. Okay, so here's just another little example of how your subconscious mind will follow along with the suggestions. As you sit there watching me, I wonder how your feet feel. Do your feet feel warm or cool? Are your shoes tight if you have shoes on? Are your feet on the floor? Or is only one foot on the floor? I don't know. Just notice how your feet feel at this moment. Now, when I do that with clients, I notice by their expression that their attention has gone to their feet because their subconscious mind is beginning to accept these suggestions of following along with me. And so just notice if those suggestions have allowed you to put your attention on your feet. So now you know you're following along, working together to get the outcome that you want from this experience. So I hope you enjoy your hypnotic journey with me. Did you know one important thing about hypnosis? And the one important thing that everyone seems to get wrong is that you cannot be made to do anything against your will. Because if hypnosis was as powerful as people think, there would be no need for any prisons. Because you could just go into every prison and hypnotize all the criminals to be good citizens. So with hypnosis, you cannot be made to do anything against your will. And if you want the best results from hypnosis, you find yourself somewhere you will not be disturbed, somewhere you can really relax, and also get yourself a set of headphones. Then listen and follow all the instructions and engage in the full process. And to make those new suggestions become a habit in your everyday life, listen to the recording for at least 21 days. Because you have never created any habit or anything you can do perfectly with one go. You have always needed to practice. And that goes just the same for hypnosis. Suggestions are practice. Hypnosis is practice. And you're just filling your mind with these instructions for 21 days, and then you will achieve changing your way of thinking about what you want to change here, beginning today.
And as you breathe out, you can go deeper and deeper, relaxed, each time you breathe out. Now I wonder how long it is since you believed in magic. If it was way back when you were just a small child. Or maybe you still do believe in magic. Just like me, I see it every day, it's all around. And you only have to look. There's even magic in the way that you can be so quiet, so still, looking as if you are sound asleep, and yet amazingly alert and aware behind those closed eyelids. Of course, it's not the stillness and the quietness that is magical, nor is it the closed eyelids. It's that amazing awareness. Nobody can even begin to properly explain what that is or how it works, even though we all know what it feels like. We all know how to send our thoughts to to anywhere we want to. A part of our own body, the big toe perhaps, or the very top of your head. But our thoughts don't have to stay where our body is, because in an instant, in a dazzling flash, you can be thinking about something that happened years ago, or something that hasn't even happened yet. And that's a magical thing, how we can be in one place, one moment in our thoughts, then thousands of miles and many years away in the very next split second. Our thoughts moving faster, faster than the speed of light, faster than time itself, as if time did not exist. And we can even imagine something that nobody has ever experienced, just something that we can think of, like swimming in a silken sea of golden mist on a distant planet, where we are so light that we float in the atmosphere like a feather floating on the breeze. Or imagine starting to look into a crystal until you find a whole universe there. A universe where there are other lives and other beings with their own magical thoughts. And it's a sort of magic that lets you hear your name being whispered quietly in a room full of people when you weren't even paying attention. And there's magic that is part of your body too. The magic that lets you see or hear something that isn't there, or lets you stay alive without you even trying. Without even having to try, your body does that so well. And the most brilliant scientist in the world cannot make even the most primitive form of life, and yet two very ordinary people can create the most complex form of life that ever existed in this world, on this planet. And that happens millions of times a day, every day. And that is definitely a sort of magic, because every cell in the human body carries the very same magic and carries the message for the same magic to be repeated. It's almost like a magic spell, because each cell knows that it has to reproduce another cell that is exactly the same as itself. So a hair cell creates another hair cell, while a nail cell creates another nail cell, and a skin cell creates more skin. And all of this happens all the time, every split second of every day of your life, and has been happening for millions upon millions of years in every human being that ever existed. And as you continue to listen to the sound of my voice bring you deeper and deeper, everybody is fascinated by magic, which is why there are so many stories about magical beings, men who can fly faster than a speeding bullet and see through brick walls, creatures with wings and claws and fiery breath, or perhaps with the head of an animal and the body of a man. Mythical ancient creatures who live in the silent depths of the sea, or on the slopes of a mountain in a remote corner of our world. And there's Merlin, with his magician's hat and his magical cape, with the stars and the moon, weaving spells and casting them around him in a dazzling display of light and colour. And these things are magic, and yet still the most magical thing in your own subconscious mind, that deep part of your mind, deeper than the deepest ocean, even more magical than Merlin, that part of your mind that can actually make the most amazing things happen for you if you wanted to. You only have to tell it exactly, specifically what you want to happen. And that powerful subconscious of yours will work its magical spell as long as you tell it what you want to happen and not what you're afraid might happen instead. Just be specific. Once your subconscious mind knows what you want to happen, it can set about making those things a reality. And it will work as hard as it possibly can to make your dreams come true. And we can help that along with another sort of magic called hypnosis. You can't see it, you can't touch it, and most of the time you certainly cannot feel it, and you won't even know it's there, but it works like magic. Now, as you relax there with each breath out, I would like you to imagine a ball of golden light above your head. And that golden ball begins to move down towards you, beginning to penetrate your head, neck, shoulders, moving on down through those arms and into your hands, filling your body with golden light from the chest all the way down to your waist, moving on down your legs until it reaches the tips of your toes. And as that happens, you become a ball of golden light. You are now a ball of golden light. And you begin to move slowly in one direction as that ball of golden light towards the destination of your choice, as that ball of golden light beginning to move a little faster and faster, getting closer and closer to that special place. Closer and closer, faster and faster, closer and closer, beginning to slow down now, slowing down slower and slower, coming to a stop. And as that happens, you begin to sense your surroundings through your senses, perhaps noticing the temperature in this special place, or the sounds that you hear, maybe hearing the voice of someone special with you in this special place. So just take a look around and see where you are. And if there's someone with you, who is it? Perhaps noticing the fun experience you are having in this special place. What is the food like that you have eaten? And where have you eaten that meal? What is the place like that you are staying in? Are there many rooms there? Moving now to the room that you are staying in. What is your room like? And if you move towards the window, what type of view have you got from that room? And what exciting experiences have you had already in this special place? Now I'd like you to move to a fun experience that you're going to have in this special place. What are you doing now? Is there someone there with you? What is happening around you in this special experience? What can you see? What can you hear as you really enjoy yourself? And in a moment, something very special is about to begin on your holiday. What is happening? Is there anyone else there with you? What can you hear and see? How are you feeling? Being on this holiday lets you look at all those problems that you have been having. All those problems that you may have been having lately from a distance. And for some reason they just become less important as you are on your holidays. And you begin to gain a new perspective. And with that new perspective, new ideas and solutions come to you to resolving those problems. Now, just looking back over the high points of this holiday, see every high point in vivid detail. Hear what you heard, see what you saw, and feel all those good feelings. And take with you what is important for you to remember about this holiday. Making sure to take all those good feelings that you felt, so that you remember every special moment about this holiday. And feeling really good now, you begin the return journey, traveling as the golden ball of light, bringing with you all those good feelings and new insights and lots of positive motivation for the future. Bring them home from all future holidays, returning now from where you left, feeling wonderful, full of energy. And when you are ready, you can bring yourself back to full awareness, only opening your eyes when you are ready to return to full awareness, feeling wonderful. Opening your eyes, bringing all the energy back into your body in your own way, in your own time.
Now that you've been on your hypnotic journey, now you may say, well, I don't remember anything about that journey. Or perhaps you have a lot of information about that journey. It's different for everyone. The experience of hypnosis and how it works is different for everyone. So what we're going to do here is bring those memories back up in your mind. Okay? This is a bit like a debriefing session. But what I want you to do is I want you to get a pen and paper so that you can write down your experience in some way. And I'm just going to ask you some questions about your experience, just like you're telling a friend about a holiday you've been on. But I want you to write down in great detail. And as I ask you these questions, I'm just going to be asking these questions. I'm not there for the response I get. So you will probably need to pause after each question and write down in great detail. And you will notice that a whole picture of your holiday begins to come together. Now just notice whatever pops to mind. If you don't remember the hypnosis experience, just notice what pops to mind. Because that's where you've been in that hypnotic journey. That's why you feel so relaxed now after being on that hypnotic journey. Just as though you've been on an actual holiday within your own mind. Okay. So, if you're ready with a pen and paper, if not, just pause the recording and come back with your pen and paper and then we'll continue. So now, assuming that you have your pen and paper ready, I just want to ask you, where did you actually go on your hypnotic holiday? What was the destination? Was the weather warm or cool? Now remember, after all these questions, just pause the recording, or you can listen to the whole recording and go back through it again. Just keep pausing and writing down in great detail your experience or the answers to my questions. And how did you travel to that destination you went to? And what was it like in the place you visited? And what was the place like that you stayed in? Did you have any friends there with you? Or people who you enjoy their company? Who were you with? What was the most enjoyable experience on that holiday? Now I know there are only a few quick questions that I've asked you, and I hope you've paused after each one and written down in great detail anything that pops to mind after those questions, so that you can build up a whole experience in your mind of where you have been. And the great thing about this is that you can do this as many times as you wish, taking yourself to any destination in the world. Whether you're going to go there, whether you've been there, or whether it's somewhere you will never actually get to. But you would still be able to enjoy that experience and come back feeling really motivated about your life. Welcome to the end of your journey. and I hope you have enjoyed your experience of learning something new that can change your life and be with you for the rest of your life, making changes on a daily basis. And I would like to invite you to take a look in the resources area, because I have added a lot of downloads so that you can continue to make those changes. So just check them out, download them, bring them with you on your phone, on your tablet, on your PC, wherever is best for you to use all these resources I have added as an extra bonus for you on this training material.